Oh, my guy. Where you at, Max? Talk to me.
But when in a hard cap league, the most important thing that you can do, and this was true in the NFL more than any other league back in the day, and it's true more now in the NBA because of the hard cap, basically. You must evaluate talent and pay for the commodity, not a cent more than it's worth. You want to try to underpay the commodity because you're going to bump up against the cap and then eventually the apron.
You hear that? You got to save that dough because you know you're going to run to the limit. You're going to run to the point where it's like, oh, we're going to get taxed or we can't go there. So when you got somebody, the times of, oh, let's make them feel good about the money, feel good about the deal, fluff it up, we done with that. All right? Even as recent as the Kobe deal, that 2-year, $50 million that Kobe, frankly, respectfully, didn't deserve because you knew he couldn't live through it. He couldn't. It was just because he was entertainment value, meat and seats. He was always box office, and you were indebted to him. Yeah, but we can't do that no more. Austin Reaves, his story, undrafted. Now he's a workhorse, and he's number 2 and all that. Dog, the first thing you got to look at is where the number 2's at. Is Austin Reaves like them? His defense already a problem, so half the game you're already questioning. And then offensively, yeah, he got a nice bag. I give him that. But is it number 2 bag worthy?
That's not what the Lakers did here.
Well, Max, I can understand your point, but sometimes in these situations, you're caught between a rock and a hard place. I mean, you've invested in Austin, and he was undrafted.
Well, I tell you, I don't be watching these clips, so sometimes we get surprised how bad they are. Yo, I heard you, little big man. I hear you, little big man, in the comments. Yo, dog. This is why you can get a deal done with your friend in relationships or someone you work with, or you go on a golf trip, or you just go to dinner with a guy and you guys have drinks, and next thing you know, you got the deal done. Where before, when y'all were emailing and texting and even FaceTiming, it felt like a brick wall. It felt like ice. It was the Iceman challenge. We can't get through to each other. Y'all go have a couple drinks, bogey a couple of holes on the course. Next thing you know, you're besties. Oh, those terms, we'll work them out, right? You start doing that kind of stuff. That's what the Lakers did. Austin Reaves, I mean, he's like their son. Being real, they raised him. Undrafted to this, be real. At worst, he's a 6-man. At worst, he's a real true 3. But at best, you can squint and see he might be a number 2. And that's what I think they did. They squinted, and then they got reminded, oh, we raised him. Let's look out for him.
He chose to come. He's made the team, played well. And so there's not much out there.
At this point.
Yeah.
But they could have traded him before they got to this point.
Yeah. And
not much out there is not a reason to give a person a max deal. But there is a minimum salary cap. I keep telling y'all that. So remind myself and you guys, they had to spend the money, but you imagine somebody spend top dollar for a Rolls Royce, and you say, why you buy it? Well, frankly, I had to buy something, and there wasn't much out there. That's what? You could have bought 14 Cybertrucks.
Which is what I suggested you got blamed for. Remember when I said this? Someone's like, oh, Rich Paul is pushing some LeBron agenda or something wild.
I just gave a scenario based upon what you said. What makes sense for everybody.
Right, and I was saying, basically, my point then was, right now you have an asset.
Yeah.
You can move the asset for an asset that you can keep and that you're going to pay accordingly and everything. If you don't do it now, eventually you're going to have to overpay for a guy that is not a perfect fit with what you're trying to do. Anyway, that's why I brought it up then. So the thing they could have done is traded him when the getting was good. It's too late for that now.
Yes.
You can't let him walk for nothing.
No, you can't let him walk for nothing. And in his case, when these type of things happen, Max,
it's crazy they didn't want to trade him, obviously, because he was good and they didn't know how good he was going to be. But at the same time, you kind of know your range. More importantly, they didn't want to trade him because of how it would have looked. Like, they always get caught up in how it looked. And I think they give players too much credit. Like, we all sitting around the league looking, oh, how they treat Austin. Oh, you know what? They did him wrong. I'm not going to the Lakers. Not a single player ever is sitting there. You could have took Austin's headband, made him go outside shirtless, gave him some tighty whities and say, get your butt out of here and go to Detroit or wherever. And as soon as you would have called the next player, he'd been like, is there an opportunity in LA for me? Like, we are not reading franchises like that. Now, we'll read a coach. There's times where you're like, man, I ain't playing for that fool. I ain't playing for that dude, right? There we'll read a city. I ain't going over there. Nah, I'm good. But LA, the Lakers, why y'all care about all that?
Because, they take a little while. And the time that is taken is you're trying to see if there's other offers out there. Once a team, if there was no other offers, they don't pay him that money.
Right.
But once, you only need one, and this is the beauty of it, and his agents did a good job. Once you have one team that's willing to pay you, and I remember this situation with Eric Bledsoe, and we're at this stalemate, and it went for a long time.
With the Clippers?
No, this was with the Phoenix Suns.
Oh, with this money still on the Suns.
Yes. And Flip Saunders, may rest in peace, one of the best. All it took was him to come out and say, I will pay Eric Bledsoe what he's asking for. I'll pay him. 4 years, 64, I will pay him that.
Damn, look how the game changed. And being real, Austin Reaves probably better than Bledsoe, yeah, but Bledsoe was a dude too. He was good. More than that, the verification of these deals is interesting because I know my agent has bluffed before, right? And in media and my agent when we're talking about on the field. Like, you're like, yo, because, I mean, what you going to do? Call the other team and say, hey, y'all going to offer him that? They're going to be like, what? We not talking to you, fool. We ain't trying to drive our price up. So you can't verify for real. So did Austin really have these deals? Unless somebody goes public, you can play a lot of good private poker.
Once that happened, you got one team willing to pay. Boom, there's your market. So I imagine, I don't know, but I imagine, well, I kind of do know, that Austin had another team willing to pay. So at that point, the Lakers have to pay him.
When you say I kind of do know, you mean like, of course he does. That's why they paid him the money.
Yes.
You don't pay him the money just because.
Yes.
Right. They say
Yeah.
go out and show
Yeah,
us your market, and he showed them, and that was that.
That's
But you know what's funny? More than even that, you move different when you know you got security, don't you? You move different, and I mean that literally and figuratively. Like, you move different when you know you got to offer somebody. You already know you're going to get paid. You're like, you just move different. You just talk different. You just got a different level of swag, confidence. Right? You're like, man, all right, whatever. Do you? Because you got that dough. More than that, literally security. Like, when you have real security, like physical security, you just like, I can do no wrong. And maybe Austin Reaves privately was looking at the Lakers like, oh, y'all can get back to us whenever you want, if you want. It's okay. We're fine. You imagine an agent on the phone talking to Jeannie Buzz. Like, yeah, Jeannie, it's okay. I know you're busy. We don't have to talk right now. Free agency's coming up. We're good. All right? Have a great one. All right, take care. Bye-bye. And you're like, what? He ain't tripping? He ain't sweating me? Oh, that make you panic.
that, yeah.
I don't know what the Lakers' situation is now.
Now, they
Could
had a
they
choice.
sign him and trade him now? In other words,
they're not doing that.
In other words, like if KD is available and they don't like any offer they're getting, and then the idea of putting KD with LeBron and Luka becomes irresistible to them, and the Lakers are like, hey, maybe we could build a package, or their hands tied because of the way the CBA is.
Now, that's interesting. Is KD now a number 2 just because of age and wear and tear, but more than that, just like you don't want to ask him to be your number 1. Like, you're not asking LeBron to be your number 1 going forward. No team is like, LeBron, carry us, right? Like, you're going to have some young, sick talent that's not as good as LeBron, or I should say not as great as LeBron, but LeBron, lean on that dude. He's young and he got them fresh legs. Let him go. KD's a number 2? So if KD's a number 2, you trying to tell me that Austin Reaves is a boy.
That's the question.
That's not a sign and trade. He's signed.
He's signed.
I mean,
All right.
now they still have cap space.
You know, the problem with me with Austin Reaves too, and again, this is like maybe my favorite player on the Lakers, actually, because of what I just said earlier. You know,
No,
even
he's
through
great.
even when the Lakers were playing poorly in games where it's like, and I'm looking around, I'm not seeing effort from guys, and they just seem kind of checked out. Not Reaves, so I love that. But ideal use, I thought for Reaves, ideally was a 6-man. And for
who said that? We all thinking the same. Come on, y'all. We all know, man, if he was a 6-man, it'd be buckets. It'd be lights out. Second unit, scorer, defense. Second unit, you get a lot more defenders in there because you don't need the points as much. Keep the lead. You ain't got to go get the lead. Have Austin over there running the offense, and then all you big old rebounders and all these big bodies and foul artists, go get fouls. Just foul people. You know what I mean? Second unit, killer. But the thing is, he's not in that role. And he played his butt off to that role. But in sports, you got to know that, I call it train your brain. Basically, we all know that there's a certain level of talent you must have to qualify. So after that point, we all qualify in terms of tangibles. But intangibles, we all ain't the same. Austin Reaves' intangibles are off the charts. And it's stereotypical, typically, and I'm going to be real, stereotypical to the guy who has some compromise in athletic ability. Something about his athletic ability, athleticism made him say, I am focused in on every single fundamental because I can't jump out the gym. I can't do everything it do. And I told my son this yesterday. I went in coach mode and I lost it. And I mean lost it in a way that a coach loses it. He's like, look. I had to tell my son because he was out there getting cooked. But he's 10 and he's playing against this 13-year-old boy, a little bigger than him. But the point is, I don't care if the boy is cooking you. I don't like that you ain't adjusting to the cooking. like change skillets, you know what I mean? Like change burners. Like you did the same thing every single time. And I told him what that tells me as a coach is that you lack awareness. What that tells me as a coach is you're not being pliable. What that tells me as a coach is, hey, bro, do you care? If you care, you gon' switch it up. Now, you're young, so you probably don't even know about switching it up in the moment. You probably think, I need to go home and practice more, and then I'll learn this from my trainer or my daddy. No. In that moment, this is survival, brother. Don't let that boy cook you. So we had that kind of talk. And the reason I got to have that talk with my son is because everywhere he goes, he's going to be one of the most athletic. That means you're going to see a bunch of these killers like Austin Reaves who intangibles are going to try to make up that difference. What if, and I told him this exactly as I'm going to say it. I said, what if with your talent, you actually had that dog mentality, intangibles like that? I said, oh, that already exists. That's called LeBron James. Someone who is highly skilled, super uber talented, IQ, off the charts, all three, you get LeBron James. I said, good luck. With your talent, you should be something, but don't get outworked. Don't get outworked and don't have somebody be aware and actually beat you down because you ain't paying attention. That irked me.
People were like, Manu Ginobili was a 6-man. Stop it. So, but when he was running with
I don't know why people get so, when people say that, it's like, no, you have to understand the balance of the game.
Yeah, what you have on the floor.
It's not a demotion to somebody because the minutes are. Manu Ginobili played more starter minutes than anybody.
And he's on the floor at the end of the game.
Just as many. He probably played as many starter minutes as anybody in the history of the Spurs organization.
But you need a guy in the second unit when the other starters are tired.
Yes.
Or when you're playing their bench.
Where's your advantage?
Or you don't want all them scores on the court at the same time. Everybody who's played basketball or has coached basketball knows that. All right, I got 3 guys that can go. Do I put all 3 in the first lineup? No. If you do, they just going to be, you're going to minimize their impact. But we did this when we were little. My little team, the little legends, before they were legends, we were at Sports Academy, this place out here, old Kobe Bryant Academy, Mamba Academy. We put MJ on the bench. Why? Because let Jaden go get all them buckets and all them points and lead the first team. Then when he got his tongue out his mouth, MJ, you come in there. Then when your tongue out your mouth, put Jaden back in. It stops never. It don't stop. A 6-man is that. He like, oh, you need fresh batteries? Gotcha. He ain't no buster. He ain't sorry. He's 6-man.
Exactly.
That's what
to get the LeBron James of the second unit, to get the guy who's going to stand out above.
And if that guy at that level of a talent is playing against second-tier guys.
It's a problem. And he's got fresh legs.
Great point.
But when I saw him run with the second unit in these playoffs, people make a lot of him missing shots. Yes, he missed shots. It happens. He wasn't making the guys around him better. So you can't do neither. You can't miss shots and the unit's not functioning well.
There's another thing. I think people get too bogged down on someone having a not so good of a series.
Because it's a small sample size.
Yeah, it's a small sample size.
I get it.
You got to evaluate the guy over the court.
But also, Austin Reaves, that's a skill he's going to have to pick up. Right? He's been building himself up so much to be who he is now, the scorer, that bag that he has, not the defense, but just offensively. You can tell he's just been working on it. And now y'all saying add this other dimension, be Magic Johnson, LeBron too? Like, make them better? Dog, I've been trying to make me better. So y'all got to take this in doses.
Course of the year. But here's the good news for the Lakers is because he was coming off of 14-9, he had a small cap hold. So the Lakers still have
cap space.
Yeah, money to spend to continue to improve the team. So we'll see how it goes.
So
let's get off of that blah blah blah. And boy, this is what I love. Like Rich Paul gets all that love, and people say, "Oh, that's LeBron. LeBron hooked him up, and then he built this amazing, super successful agency. Give him all the props in the world." But the man just dropped right now. He just literally said they got a cap holster based off his 14.9 that he opted out of. So whenever someone gets opportunity and it works, it's because they did some work. They worked. Rich Paul worked. If LeBron hooked him up, told him where the door was, maybe opened the door, that boy went in there and built the empire. And you don't build an empire. This is for all of us who got homies that be like, "Hey, dog, can I borrow 500? And I'm about to start this business." It's going to work if your boy works. If your boy work it, it's going to work. If he don't, if it doesn't, it's because he ain't. Simple as that, okay? Because, man, Rich Paul be going after it. All right, what the Lakers going to do now? They got all this. They got Austin Reaves. They got Luka. We don't know what's going on with LeBron. Talk to me, Stephen A.
Let me be very, very clear. Lakers ain't winning shit unless they keep LeBron James. The Los Angeles Lakers don't have a soul shivering in their boots. Not when the cornerstones of your franchise are Luka Doncic and Austin Reaves. They can't stop a cold. And the only way this works is if you find a way to keep LeBron James.
I don't even hate to say he's right. I don't hate that, but he is right. And y'all gonna hate him. I mean, you gotta have somebody that wakes the primal lizard brain in you up. Like, what we gotta do tomorrow? We gotta play who? Interesting. And I ain't gonna lie to you. You know Austin doesn't do it. And frankly, Luka doesn't do it either. You know why? Because if I'm going against Luka, I know he buckets. But I know he gonna complain. And I know he gonna be lazy. And I know there's gonna be times he gonna tap out. I know it. And he might get hurt. I'm just telling you how athletes think. You need something else. You need something else. You need something with a little sharper blade, even though Luka's bucket.
The hell was available in the playoffs? That was LeBron James. There were some games that Austin Reaves missed. Luka Doncic missed the entire playoffs. He's 14 years younger than LeBron. Didn't matter. LeBron James stays ready. You better find a way to keep LeBron James. And remember, this is me talking. So
hold on. LeBron said he wanted a max deal. They keeping LeBron with a max and Austin Reaves with a max and Luka with the super max? Ooh, come on.
If I felt he didn't deserve it, I wouldn't hesitate to tell you that. I'd tell you his ass ain't worth it. But he is. He is worth it. And then some. No, you can't give $52 million because of cap constraints. But you make sure you show your appreciation by letting him know the only reason you ain't paying him that is because you can't afford to because of the cap constraints and you got to build a team, you got to build a roster.
I love how there's the cap restrictions, and the owners are the ones who put the cap restrictions in there. Boy, you talk about, telling the dog they can go outside and play, but building a little-ass fence. That's cold.
You don't talk to him like he's somebody that doesn't deserve it and isn't worthy of it. You don't do that to people who are.
Blah, blah, blah. Lakers are in for it. Ooh. Become a gym member with Project Transition. As a giver every month, small gifts have a big impact in creating real change. Not only will you transform lives, you'll also win and unlock once-in-a-lifetime experiences. Join me, Marcellus Wiley, in making a real impact through Project Transition, a global giving community dedicated to uplifting underserved youth with mentorship, education, and access to real opportunities. Your donation doesn't just enter you to win unforgettable prizes and exclusive experiences with myself and other gym members. It fuels our mission to empower the next generation of leaders, dreamers, and game changers. From after-school programs, life skills camps, and career development, every dollar helps unlock potential where it's needed most and where every person makes a world of difference. Give back, win big, be the difference, be greater than your greatest excuse. Support Project Transition today. Become a gym member and help turn obstacles into opportunities. Oh, that wasn't enough? Y'all want some more? Well, check out the link in my bio, Hydration Situation Live. Blah, blah, blah.
Right. I'm glad he said that. No one chooses football. Football chooses you. It's so crazy people still stuck in Pat Mahomes in offense. I'm like, do you see these numbers? This is Marcellus Wiley on the rocks.
Time to hydrate. Hydration situation. So